Welcome to lecture number 25 for ECE 211 Circuits 1. In this lecture, we're going to look at phasors and voltage nodes. Now, recalling back, we did voltage nodes for DC circuits. The idea behind voltage nodes is that if I have a circuit with 4 voltage nodes, if I can write 4 equations for 4 unknowns, then I can solve for the voltages. And that's a common theme throughout electrical computer engineering. If I can turn a problem into n equations and unknowns, I can solve it. The approach with voltage nodes is to first define your ground reference, define the voltages at each node, and then at each node, sum the currents to 0. So for example, at node B2, the current left, B2 minus B1 over 20, plus B2 over 200, plus B2 minus B3 over 30, has to add to 0. Well, with phasors, the same thing holds, except that now with phasors, you're using complex numbers. So again, if I have this circuit, I've got 4 voltage nodes. If I can write 4 equations for unknowns, I can solve. So same procedure did before, but now I'll be using complex numbers. So again, everything you did at DC works with phasors, except now you're using complex numbers, and that's the whole point behind complex numbers. I don't have to do anything different. Everything that I did at DC works. Voltage nodes, current loops, Thevenin, voltage division, current division, all that still works, except now I'm using complex numbers. If you don't mind complex numbers, it's no different. Recall, with phasors, I can find the impedance of resistors, inductors, capacitors. The phasor impedance of a resistor is just R. Inductor is j omega L. Capacitor is 1 over j omega C. The phasor representation for voltage in a current source is the real part is cosine, minus j is sine. With that, given a circuit, I can represent everything using complex numbers, that's phasors, and then solve. Do exactly what we did before, just now with complex numbers. So let's start with the simplest case. Let's just do a single stage RC filter. So let's start with this circuit. Suppose I just have this one-stage RC circuit. Find the voltages and currents. Here I'm going to use phasors. With phasors, I first have to know the frequency. The frequency is right here. It is 628 radians per second, or 100 hertz. Got to remember, anything English is wrong. Radians per second are the natural units, not hertz. So that's what we're going to use, 628. The phasor representation for voltage is the real part's cosine minus j is sine. So this is going to be 0 minus j10. That's the voltage source. The resistor is no change, still 400 ohms. The capacitor becomes 1 over j omega C. Omega is 10 microfarads. So if I did that, omega is 628. C is 10 microfarads. 10 e minus 6, and that's j. So 0 plus j complex. Take the inverse, that's the impedance. So this is minus j 159 ohms. Now we can analyze just like we did before. V0 is a voltage, except now it's complex. 0 minus j10, 400. The capacitor is minus j159. Now just write your node equations. The node equation would be, or 2 equations for 2 unknowns. I know that V0 is minus J10. That's one equation. The second equation, V1, the current left and current down add to 0. Current left is V1 minus V0 over 400. Current down is V1 over minus J159 equals 0. 2 equations, 2 unknowns, solve. That's one way to do it. I can also use voltage division. Again, everything we did at DC still works at AC. The V1 is R1 over R1 plus R2 times V0. That would be R1 minus J159 over R1 plus R2 minus J159 plus 400. That percentage of the input, and the input is minus J10. That also works. So here's the n equations, n unknowns. I got b0s minus j10, that equation. Throw into MATLAB, solve. Well, group the terms. Throw into MATLAB, solve. In MATLAB, I put that in matrix form. Solving it, so here's the first row, call that my A matrix, call that B. A is 1, 0, minus 1 over 400, 1 over 400, minus 1 over 159J. That's A. B is minus J10, 0. Inverse of A times B gives you the voltage. What that means that this is V0. V0 is minus J10. I knew that. This is V1. Now what that means is the real part's cosine minus J is sine. So that is V1 of t, and time domain, this is V1 expressed as a phasor. I can verify that in Circuit Lab. Build a circuit in Circuit Lab, measure the voltage V0, V1. This is 100 hertz, so one cycle is 10 milliseconds. I'll simulate for, say 3 cycles, 30 milliseconds. Make the step size 1,000 times smaller. That gives me 1,000 points on the plot. And then look at V0 and V1. What I get is, this is V0. It's a 10 volt peak. I knew that. This is your V1. The peak is 3.69 volts. And kind of notice this is V1 in rectangular form. In Circuit Lab, or Lab, polar form is easier to see. This number in polar form is 3.69 at minus 158 degrees. The amplitude is the peak. The peak will be 3.69 volts. The minus 158 degrees is, let's see, this is t of 0. Here's the peak. That's your delay. The delay is this guy. It's almost half of 360, almost half of a cycle. Let's try that again for a 3-stage RC circuit. Suppose I have this 3-stage circuit. Find the voltages V0, V1, V2, V3. And let's assume that V0 is 7 cosine 100t plus 3 sine 100t. Well, the first step is to express everything in terms of phasors. So the input is 7 minus J3. Again, the cosine term is 7. The sine term is 3. Minus sine is J. The inductor is j omega L. This is omega. So 1 over j, let's put over here. Omega is 100. That's easy to do. Times 0.1 gives you 10. So this is j 10 ohms. This is 30 ohms. This is 0.2 times 100, j 20. And this is 1 over j omega c. That I can't do in my head. So omega is 100. C is 90 microfarads. 90 e negative 6 times j inverse minus j 111. This minus j 111 ohms. And this one, 130 microfarads times 100 inverse is 76.9 ohms minus j 76.9. And here I didn't do the j part. I know the answer. Inductors will be plus j, capacitors are minus j. I just wanted the amplitude. So I just did 130 microfarads times 100 inverse. That's the amplitude. Okay, so that's the first step. Express everything in phasor form. Now, write 4 equations for unknowns. First equation is pretty easy. I know that V0 is 7 minus J3. One equation. Second equation, at node 1, the current left, V1 minus V0 over J10, plus the current down, plus V1 over minus J111, plus the current right, V1 minus V2 over 30 equals 0. Write the node equation V2, the current left, down, and right equals 0. Node 3, current left, down equals 0. So exactly the same thing we did back at DC, only now I've got complex numbers. Once I get 4 equations for unknowns, solve. Now this is where MATLAB really shines. I can do 4 equations for unknowns by hand with real numbers. I really don't want to do it with complex numbers. MATLAB will do it just fine. Just group the terms. So write it out, group all the terms, express this in matrix form. So there's the equations, put in matrix form. And what I like doing is just kind of reminding myself, this column is times V0, this is times V1, times V2, times V3, and your constant. So the first equation is V0 is 7 minus J3. Second equation, minus 1 over J10, V0, plus this mess times V1, minus 1/30th V2, and so on. Throw it in MATLAB. And here what I did is, here's the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, put them all together, that's A. There's B, inverse of A times B, poof, there's my answer. Now that's the phasor representation. What that means is the real part's cosine minus J is sine. So V0 is 7 cosine plus 3 sine. I already knew that. This is V1, that's V2, and this is V3. To check in Circuit Lab, it's easier to see the polar form. So take the magnitude. That's the magnitude of V0, V1, V2, V3. In Circuit Lab, I'll make V0. I'll put it in polar form. The amplitude is 7.65. The phase shift is minus 23 degrees relative to cosine. Circuit Lab uses sines as the default. Sine is cosine. Sine minus 90 is cosine. So subtract 90, that gives the angle in terms of sine waves. That's my input. Frequency is 100 radians per second, 15.91 hertz. That's your V0. Now simulate when period is 15.9 hertz, whatever that is. 3 cycles is about 200 milliseconds. So let's simulate for 200 milliseconds. Make the step size 1,000 times smaller. That gives you 1,000 points on the plot. And here's what I get. That's your curves. Looking at the peak voltage, the peak of V0 is 7.615. It's supposed to be 7.615. V1 is blue. That's right here. Circuit Lab says 8.99 volts. It's supposed to be 9.02. Basically the same. V2 is gray. That's right here. Its peak is just about 6 volts. It's supposed to be 5.92. And V3 is green right here. It's supposed to be 8.009. Circuit Lab says 7.93. So a little bit of numerical errors, plus I only have 1,000 points on the plot. Basically, if the peaks match up, you did it right. There's also a phase shift. The phase shift is the delay. I personally just look at the peaks. If the peaks are right, probably the phase shift is right. One thing to note, in phasors, if I have a circuit and I change the frequency, that's when you really grumble. Take the same problem I had before, but now instead of doing 100 radians per second, let's do 200 radians per second. Well, the input is not a big deal. It's still 7 cosine, 7 minus J3 is 7 cosine, 3 sine. But all the inductors are different, all the capacitors are different. This is now J omega L. So this is 200 times 0.1. This becomes J20. It used to be J10. This becomes J40. That's different. The capacitor becomes 1 over J omega C. So if omega is 200 times 90 microfarads, 90 e negative 6, inverse, this becomes minus J55 ohms. This becomes 130 microfarads times 200, inverse 1 over omega C. This becomes minus J38 ohms. All I did is change the frequency, and it's now a completely different circuit. So changing the frequency is a big deal. It means take your previous analysis, throw it out, start over. Basically what that means, this is a filter. The behavior depends upon frequency. So in summary, voltage nodes works just the same at DC and AC. With AC, I'm using phasors and complex numbers. If you don't mind complex numbers, it's really no difference. I still use voltage nodes to set up n equations and unknowns. With MATLAB, I can solve n equations and unknowns. MATLAB is a really useful tool. It works for real numbers. It works for complex numbers. So once you have MATLAB and phasors, and if you don't mind complex numbers, whatever you did at DC, same thing works at AC, now with complex numbers. And that is lecture number 25 for ECE 211, Voltage Nodes with Phasors.